Want a cigarette?
No, I'm in training. See, you dropped your ashes.
Hello, everyone. What would happen when a family prepares to welcome the elderly widow of their late grandfather, only to discover that the person standing at the door is a young woman completely different from what they had imagined? Back in 1975, Italian cinema created a film that was both humorous and controversial. And even today, it still leaves many viewers wondering, how did an idea like this ever make it onto the screen? That is exactly the beginning of the strange and comedic chain of events in Grazie Nonna, also known internationally as Loverboy, released in 1975 and directed by Marino Girolami. Belonging to the distinctive wave of Italian comedies from the 1970s, the film delivers more than just awkward and absurd situations. Behind it lies a collection of unusual stories and cultural details that many film enthusiasts may have never heard before. Today, we're taking a closer look at this unusual piece of Italian cinema. The story takes place in the beautiful city of Pisa. The Persichetti family receives sad news. The elderly father, who had settled in Venezuela years earlier, has passed away. Soon afterward, they are informed that his widow, effectively the engineer Persichetti's stepmother, will be moving to Italy to live with the family. Naturally, all three generations in the household assume they are about to care for an elderly grandmother figure. But the moment Mariana, played by iconic actress Edwige Fenech, arrives at the airport, every expectation falls apart. Mariana is young, confident, free-spirited, and remarkably attractive. The arrival of this unexpectedly youthful step-grandmother immediately turns the peaceful household upside down. From Mr. Persichetti himself, to his older son Giorgio, everyone begins trying, in their own awkward ways, to gain her attention, yet things do not unfold as expected. The person who catches Mariana's interest is Carletto, the youngest son, still coming of age, and perhaps the most innocent and sincere member of the family. The film's biggest highlight unquestionably belongs to Edwige Fenech. Throughout the 1970s and 1980s, she became one of the defining stars of Italian commercial cinema. Her performance as Mariana feels perfectly tailored to her screen presence. She combines innocence with confidence, while responding with wit and composure to the clumsy advances surrounding her. However, from an artistic standpoint, this is not necessarily a masterpiece. Director Marino Girolami created a premise that sounds outrageous on paper, yet the comedic execution does not always reach the same level of brilliance. What keeps Grazie Nonna remembered today is not necessarily its story. Rather, it reflects how Italian cinema in the 1970s often enjoyed pushing social boundaries. Ideas once considered inappropriate were brought onto the screen, not always to endorse them, but often to create discomfort, satire, and comedy. For modern audiences, some moments may feel controversial. But within the cultural context of that era, this approach was far more common than many viewers realize. There is one aspect that continues to make contemporary audiences uncomfortable. Although the relationship dynamic in the film does not involve blood relatives, the moral boundaries remain intentionally blurred. This creates a strange viewing experience. At times, you may laugh at the absurdity, and at other moments, you may wonder whether something feels slightly off. Overall, Grazie Nonna is not an academic work, nor a film remembered for major artistic achievements. It is primarily a commercial entertainment product shaped by the spirit of its time. The movie reflects the boldness and often satirical perspective with which Southern European cinema of the 1970s explored traditional family structures and social expectations. It is a light-hearted film filled with exaggerated comedy, while also serving as a nostalgic reminder of the golden era of Italian popular cinema. If you watch Loverboy through a modern lens, the film may seem unusual. Certain situations may leave viewers confused or feeling disconnected from contemporary values. But viewed as a snapshot of Italian cinema in the 1970s, it becomes something more interesting. A record of how humor, social norms, and artistic boundaries have changed over the last 50 years. Loverboy, Grazie, is certainly not a film for everyone, yet it stands as a clear example of an era in European cinema, where boldness, provocation, and controversy were often used to capture attention. And perhaps the most fascinating part of revisiting films like this is not the story itself, but the question, how much has cinema changed over the past 50 years? In the end, Grazie nonna remains a film deeply shaped by the era in which it was made. It may not appeal to mainstream audiences today, and for some viewers, it could even challenge their personal taste. As many critics have suggested, the film's greatest appeal may lie less in its entertainment value and more in the unforgettable screen presence of Edwige Fenech. So, what do you think about the unusual situation presented in this film? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss future explorations into strange, controversial, and unforgettable films from cinema history. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.